Hello and welcome back to art class. Today we're going to focus on mostly coloring. You're going to want a few things. So you need your picture. You probably want a pencil and eraser just in case. I still have some spots that need to be erased and maybe touched up. And then you're going to want some colored pencils. This can be done with crayon, or it could be done with oil pastels, but I'm going to be using colored pencils because that's a pretty common thing that people have. All right, so the next part, we have the majority of the drawing done. There is one more piece that I'll deal with next week, and it's not too difficult, but it's just not appropriate at this time. We need to deal with where our light source is, because we're gonna do some shading with this. And so you're gonna need to figure out, where do you want the light to be coming from? So the way I kind of imagine this is, these are pipes that are underneath the sink, and that somebody's gonna be taking a flashlight and shining light on the pipes. So the easiest way to do this, and this is the highly recommended way to do this, is to pick one of the four corners of your project. Okay? It doesn't really matter which one, so I think I'll pick this corner here, and you just mark it. So I usually just put a dot right there to remind myself this is where I want the light to come from. Okay? So the next part is to pick a pipe that you want to work on. So I'm going to work on this pipe here, and I'm going to do that pipe in blue. Okay, and it could be light blue, it could be dark blue. This could be done with either one. I do need to sharpen it. Yep. Okay, so the next thing I like to do, and I'm going to do this actually with regular pencil before I do it with color pencil, is I like to figure out whether or not where the light is hitting. So I'm only doing this pipe. Do not worry about, yes, I understand that one pipe could in real life cause a shadow on another pipe. We're gonna pretend that that's not happening, just to make this assignment a smidge easier. Okay. So if I'm looking at this, the light was shining from here, and light only travels really in a straight line, so it would hit the top of this pipe here. So this would be my light side, or the white side, okay? Now this is that section. The thing about the pipes though is all the pipes turn. So this pipe turns down. So I have to check that new up and down part. I cannot just assume that because this is white here, that it would be white on the same edge on the outside, because it's not facing the light source, it's facing away from it. So what it would actually happen is, this is gonna be the light or the white part. And then I look at these up and down parts, and I look, if the light was shining, would it hit this part first or this part first? Okay. And it would hit this side. So this will be the light side, and this will be the shadow side. Okay. So the way this is gonna work, I'm gonna color it, and I'm gonna kind of fast forward through some of it just so it can get done a little bit quicker. Coloring direction will matter, so be careful which way you're going. If you're going side to side, that's great, but keep going side to side the whole time. If you're gonna go up and down, that's great, but keep going up and down all the time. The way I kind of recommend working this is to give a light layer. So I know that this edge is supposed to be white, so I'm gonna let it be white, but I'm gonna go a light blue almost to the edge here. And I'm just gonna do this section real quick, and then I'll fast forward while I'm doing the rest of it. Also, when a corner comes, there's often kind of an angle to the shading, just because of the turn there, it causes a turn. Right. Now I'm using the side of my pencil. It is okay to change direction if you're trying to just get the edge a little bit. That's normal. But try to cover it up if you can, that you change direction for that. All right, so there's my light layer. Then I'm gonna need a medium layer. And then a dark layer. Okay, so we want it to go from dark to light. All right, so I'm going to finish out this pipe, and I will then review what I did. Okay, now that this is completed, so you can see that the light is hitting the top here, and the light is hitting this side here, and then we have the darker shadow here. And you can always go back in, and like me, I see little areas I can kind of touch up. You need to repeat this process for each of the pipes. What I want you not to do is I want you to right now leave the couplers alone and just leave them white. Next week we'll specifically go over them and a couple other details to make this a little bit more interesting a picture. So just leave those white, but you'll color the rest of the pipe. Okay? So, and you're gonna need to change colors. I want this to be a bit more colorful than just one color. So just change out what colors you're working with for each pipe. Now the pipe itself needs to be all one color. So I don't wanna see like half of it yellow, half of it green. That's not gonna work. Okay, that whole pipe needs to be one color. Okay. And you're just going to continue on. So here's another example. I kind of point this one out because I'm sure some people probably have one that has several bends in it. If the light is hitting this one, the white is going to be here on this first part. That's easy. Okay, but if you're looking at it, it turns, and the light does not bend around a corner, so it would actually hit the top part. Okay? So it'd be white here, and then the light would hit this side again. So it would be white, white, and white. So you gotta make sure that you check every single time it turns. A lot of people can get lazy and just like, oh, I'm just coloring, and they forget to double check, and then all of a sudden their light source does not make any sense to the picture. And we only want one light source so nothing gets overly confusing. I'm gonna go ahead and finish out coloring these, leaving these spots blank like I said, and we will go from there. So I'm gonna go on to my next one. It's gonna be orange, and I will speed through this video so you don't have to watch it in slow-mo. So now I have mine complete. Just go in, make sure you clean up any edges. That's where your eraser comes in. Even with colored pencil, you can clean up the edges a little bit. Leave your couplers white for right now because this part's going to take you a while to do anyway. So we'll leave this, and then next week we'll go over some special details as well. All right, I will take a picture of this, upload it to Google Classroom, and I will see you in next week.